finally started to get the video going right, and then I realized I was not recording. All of a sudden the camera just shut off. Like, what the heck? Anyway, I am super excited about this video, and I am going to talk about my how this last month went, my weight loss, all that stuff tomorrow. I just had it on my heart to talk about this today. Um, this is gonna be hard, but yet I don't know how to put this. It's gonna be kind of tough, but yet freeing, and you know that I'm on a journey, health journey, mental health journey, living a better life, and I want to live as authentic as I can. And I realized last night that I wasn't being completely honest with you all, so I'm not living my life authentically, and that I was still falling back into old habits of people pleasing, and I can't do it anymore. I have been hiding a part of the way I believe from you guys, but it's such a huge part of my journey that I have to start including it into these videos. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. This is not going to be a preaching video. It's not going to be a you have to believe this video, because that's not what I'm talking about. Everybody needs to take their own journey, and I'm not here to convince you either way. I just know for me, I have to use words. I get no phone calls, no nothing until I start doing this. Sorry about that. I don't know if you could hear it on this side or not. But I have to start living my life authentically, because I know the way I believe is going to lead me to the life that I want. But it will not lead it to me if I am afraid to talk, use words that are natural for me now, and that feel right for me, because I don't want people thinking that I'm woo-woo. And it really has come down to, I don't really care. This is my journey. This is the path I have to take, and I cannot heal completely if I'm afraid to be completely myself. This is not I promise you, this is not a religious or preachy or whatever. I'm going to, video. It is going to be about how I need to start using words that match the way I believe, and how, when I have success, how it's played a part in it. I cannot hide it anymore, because it's halting my success, and I refuse to do that. And I realized I was falling into the people pleasing category when I'm in these videos with it. So let's talk about it, and then just from that point on, after this video, it's just, I'm going to talk authentically, and I'm going to share what I believe. I don't know how to put that. You'll understand it in a minute. If you were to ask me if I was Christian, the answer is going to be no. If you ask me if I was an atheist, the answer is also going to be no. And so I've been a little bit afraid to talk, because people call it woo-woo. And the thing is, I don't even care. If you think it's woo-woo, then I'm sad to say, it's not easy for me to say, but the truth is, then I guess I'm not the channel for you to watch, because I don't want people watching me that judge me based on what my own beliefs in my success, because I believe a certain way. And I wouldn't want you to live your life that way either. I want everybody to live their life authentically, non-apologetic. And I don't think it's my job or anybody else's job to try to convince you to believe differently. I just don't want. I want the same respect back. I don't want to be told the way I believe is wrong, because I don't think it's. Well, I don't want to get into the preaching things. That's just not who I am, and I don't think I should have to explain it. And in my brain, I think I do. Anyway, as I said, I don't consider myself Christian. I don't consider myself an atheist. I am more on the lines of spiritual. I believe in a law of attraction. If you ever heard the book See the Secret, I take a lot from that, and I actually believe more in the law of assumption. I have seen firsthand what it's done for me, and I have seen my life change, and I've had things manifest. But it's not. I am nowhere perfected at it, nowhere perfect at it. But for the first time in my life, when I discovered it, it felt right. I have all my life been on a journey of trying to find something where is my place in this world? Where do I belong? I never felt like everywhere I tried, and I don't want this to be religious talk. I don't. But it's but this part I have to talk about because it's how I developed. You know, where I got to this point is my whole entire life. I never felt like I belonged. I never felt like I fit anywhere. And I'm sorry I'm biting my lips. It's an anxiety thing. It's a soothing, self-soothing habit. But anyway, it's because I'm a little nervous. I never felt where I belonged, and I went to dozens of different churches and just trying to find my path, and I just never felt it never felt right to me. To me. I don't, you know, if it's right for you, I am extremely happy for you, and I love that people who live their lives authentically, and they are unapologetic about it. Just for me, it never felt right. So it's been a struggle. And when I discovered this, you know what? It just felt right. It felt, you know, this is what I feel is what life has been, how it's been created. And I absolutely believe that there's more to life than when you close your eyes, and I don't believe that's just it. I've had too many experiences. I used to think they were like ghosts or that kind. I don't know what to call them yet. I don't know how to put that into words yet because I'm still very young at learning all this. It's only been a couple of years, and well, maybe 3 or 4, but it's only been like the last 2 years I've been putting effort into really truly looking into it. And then, you know, this year is really putting my heart and soul into it. But I believe that there is life after death. I've had too many things happen in my life not to believe that, and I don't know how to explain that other than I've had some kind of connection with people who are no longer living. I consider myself an empath, but not like, I don't know how to explain it because I have empathy for people, and almost sometimes I feel like too much, but I don't know how to explain it, and I don't want this to be a preaching because this is about my health journey. And anyway, how I believe plays a huge part in my success in this journey that I'm on. And it has helped me become such a better positive thinker than a negative one. And I have my spirituality to thank for that. The state of mind and how I believe that, you know, what you put out in the world comes back to you, and that you're responsible, not anybody else or any being. Are you responsible for your life and what goes on around you? I believe that you can either help this country in this world be a better place, or you can add to the negativity of it and it's going to get worse. I absolutely refuse to let this world become worse, or at least have my part being in it's going to get worse. I'm learning that through finding peace and living in the state that I believe that I want to be in, with my weight, with my mental health, with my what I want out of life, is all got to do with living in that state of mind, and not pretending that I'm rich, not pretending that I'm skinny, but really embracing how it's going to feel to have all those things, because I will have them. Because why? Because I say so. I know some people, if they're really Christian, are going to find this sacrilegious, but you know what? That's on them, not me. I don't have to live my life the way they want me to, and you don't have to live your life the way I want you to. The only thing I want out of anybody is for to be happy, and just be happy for other people, no matter if it's a different thinking than you. That's all I want. And it's hard because I'm so worried about stepping on toes, but yet I'm trying to say I don't care if you step on your toes. It's such a weird state to be in. But I truly believe that I have stunted myself, and I'm not as far as I need to be, because I'm not completely open and honest, not just with everybody online. Not that I have a whole lot, but there are people that follow and watch that are very important to me. But I can't worry about, I don't want to lose any of you, but I can't and won't pretend to be somebody else so you stay. And I hope that makes sense, because I wouldn't want you to stay and pretend you're not who you are, okay? I just want mutual respect. That's all I ask for. Same in my own life, out in non-internet world. I have been learning to be more open about it. Jason doesn't believe the way I believe, and that's okay. But he likes the results that I'm becoming more positive, and I've become. And I still struggle. Y'all seen this in the videos, and I am far from being perfect. I'm still human who's going to have human experiences, but I believe the way I think. I just know that I can manifest a body in my life of my dreams, and by hiding that, I'm hurting myself. So I have got to start living the life that I know I can have, and that means being a lot more diligent with losing weight, a lot more diligent of just living in that state of. I don't believe to say, oh, I'm going to be skinny and tomorrow I'm going to wake up skinny. But I think when you're a more positive person and you believe that you are a thin person, or you have money, that you do things that lead you to that lead you to those experiences, because you're living more authentically. You're living more, in the life that you can have, and not in the poor pity party me. I had a bad past, and that's something that I'm trying to get over with, because I am one of those people that live in the past a lot, and it's because there's a lot of regrets and a lot of, I wish I could go back and change things, but the thing is I can't. Okay, I have gone through some really bad crap. I know I'm not the only one that has, but I can't hold on to that anymore. It has stunted me. It has not allowed me to be a better person. It has not allowed me to. That stuff has been done, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. Although sometimes it's kind of hard to understand why sometimes, but I have to stay in that faith that everything happened for a reason, and because I was not willing to stand up for myself, I was willing to play the pity party. I've stunted my healing. I have stunted my life. I'm 54 years old. I should not be starting out trying to figure out how I'm going to live my life for the rest of my life, but I am, and here I am, and I can't keep holding on to that regret. It is what it is. I can't change it, but what I can do is do better from this point on. I believe that this body no longer exists. It's just something that used to be, and now it's got to play its part. I don't know how to explain it other than this is my old self. This is all my pain, all my fears, all my everything. And from this point on, my body is healing. It's getting healthier. My money, I've got more money than I can ever hope for, in that it will allow me to live the life the way I want to live it, and to help people the way I want to help people. And I have just got to keep living in that state, so the state that I'm in now will play out and be done, and it's over. It's old news. And it has taught me to be a stronger person, to stand up for myself more. And this is what happens. I don't know how to explain this. I believe the energy you put into the world comes back to you, and that's the life you create. I have been so negative and fearful and afraid. That's my whole life. If you think about it, people say, well, that's not true. Well, it is true for me. For me, I've lived my life every day in fear about something because of my anxiety. And what happens? When you say, sorry, that was my computer doing this update thing. When you say, well, that's typical, it always happens to me. Well, yeah, you just told the universe that's what you wanted. So the universe doesn't see good or bad. It's just whatever your main thoughts are. And if you're a negative person, that's probably what you're going to get back. I mean, I'm not here to preach how anybody else believes, but what I'm saying is I believe that I've created where I am today. It's not so-and-so's fault because I'm fat. It's not so-and-so's fault because I'm poor. It's because I believed in the words that they threw out in the universe. Because they're just words. I made them into reality. Them telling me I'm fat and useless, okay. And me not fighting back and me not standing up for myself, I told the universe, yep, that's what I want. I want to be fat. I want to be. And I believe that we are responsible for what happens to us. To a certain point, I don't want that to be misconstrued as something terrible happens to you that you created that. No. What I'm saying is, I allowed it to shape me. That bad incident, I allowed to take it and I held on to it for dear life, for dear God, and did nothing to try to overcome it, to take my power back. And I believe that by not standing up and not having, you know what, that was a moment in life. You are not going to define me. And I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm trying not to be preachy, but I'm not going to be apologetic either. I just know that I deserve more than I've given myself. I have allowed the lack of being able to talk about my spirituality. It has hindered me. I went back to people pleasing. And I don't care what you believe in. As long as it's not harming anybody, you have to be happy, because I believe if you're authentic and happy, you change this world to be a happier place. I think the more negative everybody is, the more negative we're going to see in the world, and it's coming true. I mean, for me, I look at the world and see, look how we have now built lines where if you don't belong in this line, you don't belong here. If you believe in this way, you don't believe this way, you believe this way, you're the enemy. And it's getting worse. Because why? Because there's so many people starting to get on that wagon train of thought. I refuse to. I believe that we are all energy and we're all connected. And we can overcome anything if we will just stop. I don't know how to say this, being negative. I believe if we have to have more people be positive than negative. And right now, I think that I don't want to play the part. No, I don't think. I know that I will not be a part of being part of the negativity. That's why I limit my time that I watch on TV about political earthquakes, all that, because all that stuff are triggers for me because it gets me scared. And I hate politics. I try to watch and keep up a little bit on it because I think it's good to be a little up on it. I will not make it the focus of my life. I will not fall into that trap of agreeing with everybody. Oh, yeah, either he's really, really good or he's really, really bad. And I can't change that. No matter what I say or do, it's not going to change what's happening there. But what I can do is change what's happening here, which will trickle up to there. It's how I treat myself, how I treat Jason, how I treat my neighbors, how I treat my community, how I treat my state, how I treat my country. See where I'm going with this? And eventually, if everybody would do this, we will change the world, because we will outpower that negativity that's going on up there, the hate that's going on up there. And not just, and I don't want to get a preachy thing, but it's just, we don't need to be against each other. So I will not fall in that trap. And it's hard for me because sometimes I do, because I'm human. I am not going to play that game of, if you're not on my side, then you're my enemy. I hate that. I will not be part of that. I believe change starts with me, and that's for everything in my life. So from now on, from this point forward, when I talk about my weight loss and I talk about my journey, it's always going to be positive. I'm going to be honest with you all, but I am going to use language that matches my beliefs. Okay? Just like you, I don't want you to change who you are. And when you say, God bless you, I don't want you to change that, because that's you. That's you being authentic. That's you being caring. I don't want to change that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for not being Christian, but being spiritual. And I would not want you to apologize for being Christian, okay, and not being spiritual. I know that I just have to worry about myself and my path and my relationship with whatever God I choose to believe in. And because it's what's helping me. And I believe that it's been hindering me because I haven't been able to. Not that I haven't been able to. I chose not to talk about it because I was afraid of how everybody would feel. And I know this video is really long, and I don't know if anybody's listened through it, but I've got my feelings out. So from this point on, I have got to live in the state that I believe I am in. I am going I cannot wait for next summer because there's so many things I've got planned, so many things I want to do, and I know that my relationship with Jason will be stronger because the poor guy he's had to change how he lives because of me. Um, he carries the burden of working, and as much as I would love to be working right now, I can't physically go to a job. Just I can't. But you know what? Next year, I have got so many dreams of what I want to do I don't know what path I want. Um, it's hard. Yeah, he works at home. I would love to work at home, but our internet's not strong enough for both of us. So if I want to manifest a job that I can do here at home. That's why I've been working hard on trying to get my business up with my crocheting, and I also do some digital stuff. It's been rough, but that's because I have not been living authentically, completely, and honestly, because I still have my doubts. And so I'm working on all that. And so I cannot wait to see what this year brings. And by next summer, ooh, it's going to be a wonderful one. This summer is even going to be better than last summer. But I'm being realistic because I know I have a lot of weight to lose, but with this positive mind and positive thinking, and being honest when I'm feeling bad, but also knowing that it's not going to stay there, it's just, I cannot wait to see everything that's going to happen. And I'm going to prove to you that, well, it's first and foremost proven to myself, but then it will trickle down to you all that life can go the way you want it if you just live authentically, no matter what that looks like for you. All right, guys, thank you for listening to me rant. If I turned you off from my channel, then I don't know what to say, but I am ready to build that community. I'm ready to be stronger and come on and do. And I don't keep saying that, but now that I'm really feeling confident and comfortable and just not going to apologize, I'm going to speak the way I need to speak for my success. I'm going to come on here and do more videos. Tomorrow, as I said, I'm going to do the video about where my weight loss is going and how this last month went. And I'm not going to worry about if my hair doesn't look good or whatever. I'm just going to do it because it's going to be me. And that's how I'm going to live my life. Okay, guys, enough of that. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.